Scaling your law firm doesn't have to be difficult. It's all about mastering a few key strategies, systems, and mindsets. Welcome to the Scalable Law Podcast, where we talk about how you can increase profit in your pocket and time in your calendar. My name is Carolee Fontanelli, and I have successfully scaled my firm so that it doesn't solely rely on me. Now I love teaching other law firm owners how to do the same. Let's transform your business starting now. Hello, and welcome to another Scalable Law Podcast. I'm super glad that you are here. Happy Tuesday, and I hope that everything is going wonderfully in your world. I am your host, Carolee Fontanelli, and today we are talking about a super important topic that comes up all the time for me when I am talking with law firm owners about how I've scaled my law firm so that I have created freedom in the firm. And the reason that I've been able to do this is because of the implementation of SOPs. So what are SOPs? SOPs are standard operating procedures, and it is so important that your law firm has standard operating procedures. I'm not talking about your practice management system. I'm talking about the way that you operate your business. So scaling your law firm doesn't mean working harder. It means working smarter. And today we're going to dive into something that most law firms are missing, and that is standard operating procedures. So today we're going to talk strategies, systems, and also the mindset shifts that help you to build your firm that will also help you to build it without you burning out. So let's get stuck into it. So what are SOPs and why should law firms care? Let's start at the beginning. What even are SOPs? So standard operating procedures are documented step-by-step instructions that outline how to carry out specific tasks or processes in the law firm. Not only tasks, but also procedures and policies too. So how you do things around here. They create consistency, they remove the guesswork, and they allow tasks to be delegated efficiently. And here's the thing, most people, they really want to know, so people as in the people that are working for you in your law firm, they want to know where they stand and what is required from them. And when you have SOPs for every task in the firm, what that means is that they are not guessing and they do have complete clarity, which means that they can do their work really well without asking you. So you can see how it can really free up a lot of your time. But here's what I see too often. Law firms believe that because they have a great practice management system, like Clio or Smokeball or Leap, and they have precedents, that they're systemized. Wrong. A practice management tool is just a tool to deliver your legal service. It does not help you to run the entire business. It doesn't help you to operate the law firm as such. It's only as effective as the systems and procedures that you actually layer into it as well. Your software isn't a system. Your SOPs is the system. So this is why it's really important that you have these SOPs in place in your business. The problem with not having standard operating procedures is that in place you create dependency. What do I mean by that? You rely on individuals remembering how to do things. They rely on you constantly asking you, how do I do something? When someone leaves your firm, they're going to take all that IP with them, and you've got to keep reinventing the wheel every time you get a new receptionist or a new accounts person or whatever it might be. You rely on training through osmosis in the firm, which just really isn't good enough. You're running a professional legal firm. And I think what we do is we expect our lawyers to know certain things, but really our lawyers, they're trained at law school to know the law. they don't actually necessarily know how you want that law and legal advice, for example, to be delivered. So making sure, for example, that even in what they do, there's standardization throughout the whole firm. It does work potentially to not have SOPs when you're a solo, or you might have one or two team members. But once you start growing, especially past the 500K revenue mark, it really does become a liability. And what happens when, as I said before, key staff members leave? What happens when someone's on leave and something goes wrong? What happens when you try and onboard a new team member and there's no structure? It's just a jumbled mess of, messages and scattered email threads. That's what we want to avoid. Or you might have a few processes and procedures sprinkled on different people's desktops throughout the firm. That's what happened to me. And things really started falling through the cracks big time. I had a lot of inconsistency. I had unhappy clients. I had burnout because I had team members coming to see me all the time. I felt like my office was a train station. And quite frankly, I was a bottleneck because I just had so much on my plate, being dumped on my plate all the time, constant interruption all day long. And honestly, it was just really hard. I'd created this chaotic machine, which was messy, and I was right in there with it. And I didn't know how to get my way out. And what happened was my firm stagnated. I could not grow past 1.1 million turnover, and I couldn't grow past a team of 7. I now know why that is. It's because I had no processes in place. So everyone was relying on me and I was a bottleneck. I was also trying to manage too many people and the wheels kept falling off. So this is where SOPs need to exist in your firm. So let's really break it down. It's not about having procedures on how to do a legal task, for example. Your SOPs need to cover every area of the business. So they do need to cover legal service delivery, how to open a file, conduct initial consults, prepare a matter, how to finalize it. What do you expect with when they return a phone call? Is it okay for them to leave a phone call unreturned for 48 hours, or is that not how you do things at your law firm? Making sure you document all of your expectations around legal service delivery. And once you get started, you just keep compiling and getting better and better at it. And then people in your legal service team, so your lawyers, they understand where they stand. They know they have to put their time in straight after doing a task on a matter. They have to return a phone call within 24 hours to avoid complaints. They know because there's systems and processes in place that tell them how to do things. Then we've got your accounts and finance. So what's your billing cycle? How are your trust account managed? Who approves expenses? How do you recover debt? How often do clients get follow-up letters? When do you stop work on matters because they haven't paid their invoice, etc.? So that's all really important stuff. It will help you massively in making sure you don't have as much debt in your law firm and that everything is on track. It'll also, as a law firm owner, get you off all those small tasks when it comes to accounts and finance. You shouldn't be doing all of that, and you might be right now. So let's get that off your plate. Marketing. So how are leads followed up? When someone fills out an inquiry form, what happens next? Who does your social media posting? What does that all look like? So your marketing is fully automated and run by procedures and processes. Operations in your business. So this is like so many things. What's the process for managing court documents, printing briefs? Well, who's ordering equipment or IT equipment? What if something goes wrong? Who's dealing with those third parties? How do you deal with those third parties? Who has responsibility for what, and who's actually running smooth operations in the business? And then finally, we've got HR and culture. This is a big one, and there are a lot of processes and policies that need to be included in HR and culture. How to onboard your staff members, what's the review process, how do you deal with underperformance, what KPIs have you got in place for your team? All of those sorts of things need to be recorded and process driven. Every one of these departments needs documented procedures. And it's not about making everything rigid, because these documents are alive. They are not set in stone forever. As your firm evolves from 500,000 to $1 million to 2 million to 3 million to 5 million turnover, so does your processes and procedures need to be updated. So we call them living documents, because they're not set and forget. This is something that needs to be updated on a regular basis. So it's really about freeing up your brain from decisions and ensuring that your business isn't relying on the memory of the people that are in your business, but rather that the people follow the operating procedures so that your business is run exactly the way that you want it to be run. So SOPs equal scale, sustainability, and sanity. We want to reduce those stress levels from you. That is one of the biggest things about running a law firm. It can be so stressful. And if you have the right systems and processes in place, it will reduce the stress. So here's the real value of SOPs. When your firm is systemized with SOPs, you create consistency. So every client gets the same standard of care. Every team member works from the same process. The thing is that all of your team members have come from other firms, potentially, and they have probably come with some bad habits. Or they might think that it's right to run it this way, but really that's not the way you want it run. We all have different ideas on what is the right way. And so standard operating procedures bring it all into one place where it says, well, this is how we operate at this law firm. Trainability, so onboarding becomes seamless because the knowledge is already documented. And when you're onboarding new people, they understand that this is the way we do it at this law firm. Efficiency, so you stop reinventing the wheel, you speed things up and you reduce duplication. It's just like even small things like, the trust account audit, which comes around once a year. How did we do it last time? Who did we contact? Oh, I've forgotten. All that needs to be process driven rather than ad hoc, especially when you're doing something only every 6 months or every year. It comes around and it becomes arduous, whereas we want it to be easy and speed those things up because it's all documented from last time. Freedom is something I love talking about. You can actually take a holiday as a law firm owner and you can know that things aren't going to fall apart while you're away. You build a business that you can rely on over and over, not just a job that's relying on you. How amazing is that? This is exactly what we do in Accelerator. So inside their Scalable Law Accelerator program, we focus on freeing you up for time and also creating more profit in your pocket. Those are the two things that we focus on. And one of the core things that we deliver in the program and the core transformations is we support law firm owners with building out their SOPs that form the backbone of their business. We break it down section by section and we give you all the templates so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So in my law firm, I have documented everything and I have templated it all and now deliver it to other law firm owners. And we help you to workshop your processes. And I teach you how to be a true leader and implement those processes into your firm so that you can start rolling it out across your team. And you don't have to build it all from scratch. So it just makes it so much easier and faster. In my law firm, I took about 6 years to build it all out. In other law firms that I help, it takes about 18 months to 24 months because we can really fast track it because of all the templates that you've got. If you want your firm to run like a well-oiled machine and not just a collection of people doing things their own way, SOPs aren't optional. They are absolutely essential in your business. So to wrap up, here's your challenge. Take one area of your law firm this week and start documenting it. Maybe it's how to onboard a new client or how to prepare for a mediation, or it might be how to do the reception role, for example. Whatever it is, start, because clarity equals power. And if you want help building SOPs reach out to me and book a free consultation with us. We will help you with a strategy on that call, and we'll walk you through how you can get started to free up your time and to create more profit in your pocket. Thanks so much for tuning in this week, and I'm going to catch you next week on the Scalable Law Podcast with a new episode. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Scalable Law Podcast, brought to you by the Scalable Business Lounge. If you would love to know how you can get more clients without relying on referrals, head over to scalablelaw.com to watch my free masterclass. Until next time, you have got this.